It's good to be in my parish. Now, it's 10:31. And I want the media who are here to survey the crowd with rain threatening. And you have been here for about 2 hours or more and nobody moving. I don't intend to finish at 11 o'clock because I want you all to get home early and safe. So I have a few messages to give to you. First of all, allow me to commend the St. Elizabeth team. They have done a wonderful job. I have been on this point about representation. And representation is becoming a big issue in the elections to come. The people of Jamaica want to see good representatives. But I want to also say that all of you gathered here as supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party, you have told me that you want to see good representatives. And as your leader, I want you to know that I have received the message. And I also want you to know that I didn't get the message in my ears and sit on it. We get the message and we are acting on it. The Jamaica Labour Party has put in place a program where we have started to call in all our MPs that we have assessed. And we have said to them, you need to perform better in this area. You are doing good in this area. But here is where we think you need to come up with some new ideas. Because in any organization, after any period of time of holding authority, sometimes people become complacent. We have done too much. We have achieved so many things that previous administrations have never even dreamt of being able to do. For us to become careless with our politics. So, I know it is not the most popular message with some people, but it is a message that has to be said, and it has to be said right here on our platform, because it is indeed a concern for our people. I like what Deputy Secretary of the Jamaica Labour Party, Andrew Wheatley, said, that before your very eyes, the politics of Jamaica has been transformed. And you know which party has transformed it? It is the Jamaica Labour Party that has transformed the politics of this country. I want you to appreciate that we now have a politics where our discussions are elevated. When you come to a Jamaica Labour Party meeting, we don't have to call nobody name on the other side. We don't even have to mention the other side. We don't have an argument with nobody. We don't come on stage and spread lies and rumors. We don't believe in tearing down others to lift up ourselves. We have the substance on which we can get the support of the people. We have the performance to show. Hold on. And we don't need music to make the people them real again. Selector, the highest respect for you. But because I have the time constraint, I'm gone 5 minutes already. So we have carried the politics to a new level. where we campaign on our record. And a very strange thing is happening in our politics, where there are those who are trying to say, don't pay attention to the record of performance. Can you imagine that? There are those who are trying to diminish the performance. But we have struggled for a very long time saying we need to have a politics of performance. We have struggled for a very long time to say we need to have a politics of accountability. And what I have tried to do as a leader is to bring those things to our platform. So when I stand up and say to my representatives, I am holding you to account for better representation. You have never heard that on any other political platform except this one. The chairman for this meeting, the master of the protocol and the ceremonies. Where is he? Councillor. Councillor Williams, stand up. I don't think you realize that he was the main speaker. Because at every interstitial, he stood up and was telling you all the achievements of the Jamaica Labour Party. So by the time he was finished, nobody has anything else to say. But that is what a Labour Party meeting is about now. It's about telling you all that we have achieved. And the challenge, of course, is that there's a psychology which we have to acknowledge. And that psychology is that negative sells. And when we have so many positives, I'm always being told, you need to be carrying the message more, you need to be telling people more. And it is true. Because the good things are not going to sell themselves. It is highly unlikely that you're going to forward the Pedro Plains project as good news. But that is so important. Because as Floyd has said, they have been discussing, Michael Manley has been discussing and promising. And that's many decades ago. Promised Pedro Plains. This idea of taking water from the Black River to irrigate the plains of St. Elizabeth. That project is now not a vision. It's not a concept. It is a reality. That project is going to transform so many lives. It is the basis on which we are going to create a stronger economy for this parish. But how many of you tweet about it? How many of you put it on TikTok? How many of you forward it to your friend? That's the whole point. So if you live in a society like this, where it's only the negative that people celebrate, then you can imagine the doom and gloom that people will have. And that is why we have taken a deliberate decision that we are not going to join the army of naysayers and the purveyors of negative and doom and gloom. When you come to a Jamaica Labour Party meeting, you must leave feeling elevated. Not only with the dancing and antics of Floyd Green and Andrew Wheatley. And I don't mind being the girls and bubblegum. But when you come to a Labour Party meeting, whether you are older, you are my age, or you are younger, whether you come from up there, so, Here so or here so. Whether you're a man or woman, there is something here that is meaningful for you. And you don't leave here hating anybody. You don't leave here vexed with anybody. You leave here feeling good about yourself and positive about the future. That is what the Jamaica Labour Party is about. We are the party of positive message, positive thinking, positive achievement. But we are also the party of action. Action. And what has happened to us as a country, and I like to say, I'm not going to think of it as something bad, but what has happened to us over the last 2 or 3 decades is that we have become tied down in bureaucracy. Everything that has to be done takes longer than it really should. It's frustrating. We have become a society where we don't trust ourselves. And so we have layered very thickly all kind of legislation, all kind of regulation, all kinds of steps. And you know what has happened? That has caused a great deal of frustration for the people. It takes long to get everything done in a Jamaica. It took us a decade to solve our economic problems. A decade. To bring the debt from almost 150 to now 74% relative to GDP. At the end of this financial year, it will be below 70%. 10 years. During that 10 years, you had wage freeze. Whole heap of wage freeze. So public sector workers' wages weren't going up. While inflation runway. The dollar slide bad. And during that period of time, they never have no money to spend on any hospital. They never had any money to fix any road. They never had any money to provide water in your pipes. Now, we fix the economy. I am not here telling you, say we have whole heap of money. But we are in a better position to plan for the things that you need. But you can understand that after 10 years of what they call austerity, meaning that the government wholly spending tight. Yes, wholly money tight. And couldn't spend on the needs of the people. Austerity. During that period, while you were all under the hardship, you reach the point now where the thing rough. And then on top of that, you have COVID, because a further rise in the prices in the supermarket. My God. No. And then after COVID, we are starting to feel the real impact of climate change. Almost every year in this government, we have had a natural disaster. A weather event, a major rain event, major landslide, flooding, and then we had Hurricane Beryl. So can you imagine 10 years of austerity, As you're coming out of it, bam, COVID, and then all the economic woes that caused, and then the climate issues. That is also impacting the infrastructure, not just your pocket and your household budget, but the condition of the roads. And after 10 years of not spending on the infrastructure, your infrastructure will deteriorate. So you now have what we call aged infrastructure. Old road, old bridge will collapse, road them a tear away. Long before me, them that's up there, cause. No, I want you to listen to me good. If we are to deal with these things quickly, to ease the burden off of you, then we have to deal with the bureaucracy. Because there is a bridge called Troy Bridge. Some of you might have heard about Troy Bridge. Yes. That they build the bridge built in 1865. When flight? Somewhere in the 1800s. 18 something. Bridge 155 years old or something like that. Long time that the bridge they built. And with one of the tropical storms that passed through 2 years ago, it washed away the bridge. Washed away the bridge. So we talk about the climate and how it impacts on the infrastructure. Cut off communities, increase the cost for people to travel to get to where they have to go. But it took us 2 years to build the bridge. The problem was that the government didn't have the money. That's not the problem. The problem is that we have put in place so many laws to ensure that whatever expenditure we do, there is transparency, accountability, and traceability, and value for money. And we need to get all of these things done. But we need to be able to do them much more quickly. 2 years. And every month something come out, somebody accuse about the bridge. And no matter how I explain to them that if it doesn't go through something called procurement, I want to see him when I go cost we and say we thief the money. Or we give it to a friend. And if we build the bridge and something go happen to it, I want to see him when I go cost and say it never designed properly. You see the problem where we have? So it was that we never have the money. We have to do the process. But the process takes too long. So what is it that we have to do now as Jamaicans? And as labor rights, you have to start to understand this because you have to start to carry that message. We are not going to be able to remove all the protections in legislation and regulation that we build. But the people who have the responsibility to carry those regulations and legislation and policy out, we have to move more quickly. Every Jamaican has to become more efficient in what we do. We have to become more productive in what we do. So if it is taking 2 weeks to sign off on something, every Jamaican needs to be able to say, my work, I need to be able to do it faster. Let me cut that in half. I do it in 1 week. Can you imagine if along that process, everybody take off 10 days off of what they were supposed to do? We would have built the bridge much faster. So what is the next phase of the work of this government? In the same way we fix the economy, this government is going to fix the bureaucracy to make sure that we can deliver the benefits from the economy faster to you. If we had fixed the bureaucracy, then the Tri-Bridge would have been delivered much faster. And that is our next challenge as a nation. Fixing our bureaucracy to make things move much faster. And it means benefits for you. The bureaucracy is not just in the government. It's to help you to get your banking transactions much faster. If you go and add up how much time you spend going into the bank to do a transaction, how long you stand up in the line, or how long it takes you to get to use an ATM machine. Those are some of the efficiencies that we need to build in our financial system so that you spend less time waiting and get service quickly. How many of you have to go and pick up your path check and the pension payment, and you go to the post office or wherever them pay the check and you have to wait in a long line when that isn't necessary in today's world because you can get the money digitally? That's part of removing the bureaucracy. Some of you who have to go collect the pension check, every so many months you have to present what is called a proof of life certificate, where you have to go get that signed by a JP, you have to go wait at somebody's yard. I know it affects a lot of you here. You don't need to do that again, because we are going to change that process and remove that bureaucracy. It needs, my friend. Yes, current affairs. So, when I talk, some people say, Bossy, when you go up on platform, go talk all of them something, the people don't understand you. And I said, God help me, why is it that we believe that our Jamaicans don't appreciate and understand these things? I have confidence in my Jamaican people. I know I am talking that everybody can understand what I say. And if you don't understand, you're interested to go find out. Right? Because I respect you. They say, boy, Prime Minister not talk about economy, nobody don't understand that. The people of Jamaica understand that. They understand it. Because we never have no economy before. If the Americans can understand that it is about the economy, then we understand too. Everybody understand. And it's only one political party that has been able to fix the economy of Jamaica, and that is the Jamaica Labour Party. And there is only one political party that can make Jamaica more efficient and productive, and that is the Jamaica Labour Party. So, as I close my presentation to you, I urge all of you to become the agents, the ambassadors, the purveyors, the people who will spread the good news of the Jamaica Labour Party. You have to become apostles of the work of your party. Because there was a time when people never proud to say, I am a Labourite. Now I know that every Labourite is proud to say, I am a Labourite. And that pride comes from the undeniable, unchallengeable performance of the government that you have elected and supported. But I know that Labourites are not fanatics. Labourites represent the fair-minded and reasonable thinking Jamaicans. We don't need an opposition to hold us to account. Our greatest critic and the people who have the most vociferous complaints Make my point exactly. And the people who will loudly hold their party to account is our supporters. So there is no possibility of the Labour Party sliding into any extremism or going off on any errant path. No. Because you hold us strongly to account. So as I close, I say to you, your party is doing good. Your party has a vision. As I have explained to you, what is the next phase of the prosperity journey of Jamaica. And you have an incredible and important role to play. And more importantly, the leadership and executive of the party pays attention to its supporters. We respect you, and more so, we care and love you. And therefore, Labourites, let us rekindle that very strong bond between party and supporters. We have a job to do. We have a mission to accomplish. Let us choose Jamaica. Let us choose to build our country. Prosperity is ours. Labourites, I love you. God bless you and thank you.